Us gamers put tons and tons of time into our hobbies, but naturally, many of us develop some strange habits and tics that are pretty much exclusive to people who play video games a lot. What is up, guys? We're gonna have some fun today. Welcome to Chaos Top 10s, and today we are going to be counting down our picks for the top 10 strange gaming habits that people actually do. And I guarantee you that you do at least a few of these. So circle of trust here. You need to be honest in the comment section. As we go through this list, I want to know which one of these strange or multiple strange gaming habits that you have taken up as well. Before we get into it, we are running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway the entire month. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and leave a comment why you want to win it with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter. Be sure to take advantage of the giveaway. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. And now, let's go over some really strange gaming habits that most of us have. Kicking off our list today at number 10, we have disrespecting an enemy corpse. And this one is a little bit gruesome, but just about everyone has done it. There are plenty of ways to show disrespect to a player you just killed in a competitive game. In Halo, you have the birth of the teabag. In Gears of War, it's common for players to do a little dance on top of the dead enemy. And in Mortal Kombat, many players do rapid-fire teabags during the finish him screen. And then you have countless games where there's just something satisfying about beating up and shooting a dead enemy. It doesn't even have to be in a multiplayer game. There's plenty of us that do this to the AI enemies. It's pretty gruesome when you think about what you're doing, but I'm willing to bet every single one of you watching this video has done this at least once. Probably way more than once. As a matter of fact, drop a like on the video if you have ever disrespected an enemy's body in a video game. At number 9, everyone knows the gamer lean. That pose you get when you're getting super into a game, when you bend forward over your controller and you get a little closer to the screen. Or maybe you take a step further and you put your arms on your knees so you can lean forward even further. Just about everyone has developed their own form of the gamer lean. There's not really many other hobbies that have that quality. Think about it. Gamers all develop their own signature stance when they're playing, but I can't think of any other hobbies like that. It's not like people have specific stances for reading or baking, although it would be pretty funny if they did, but there is definitely a specific gamer lean for every gamer out there. It's like you feel like you're getting immersed into the monitor. Have you ever seen that TV show called Hoarders? Well, there are in-game hoarders as well. At number 8, some people are hoarders in real life and just can't bring themselves to get rid of anything, but so many gamers are hoarders in the virtual world. Come on, you can't tell me you've never found yourself stocking up random items in Skyrim or Fallout that you never actually used, but you still wanted to hold on to those things just in case you ran into one super specific scenario where you needed all that random junk you've been collecting across the hours and hours you've logged into the game. Many RPG players are total hoarders in video games, and there's nothing wrong with that, since they're going to be prepared for just about any scenario that comes across them in that virtual world. Okay, this one's going to sound really strange, but I want you to hear me out, okay? At number 7, thinking about gaming during any type of relations, okay? When was the last time you were doing something and you found yourself thinking about the game that you were stuck on, or the level, or the boss that you couldn't beat? You're having relations, we're keeping this ad-friendly here, and your mind tends to wander in order to keep the relations from coming to an end soon. And a lot of gamers actually find themselves thinking about that jump they couldn't make or the boss they couldn't beat when they were in this scenario. So if you've ever felt weird for thinking about video games during that time, know that you are probably not alone. I guarantee every single one of you who has ever played a fighting game, which is most of you, have done this at number 6. Mashing the buttons harder for stronger attacks. It's a thing, right? We're all guilty of it. If I hit X really, really hard, it will make my attack in the game even stronger. No, it won't, but we've all tried it. We don't like to admit it, but we have all thought if I hit the button harder, my character will hit the enemy harder and I will be able to beat him. But it never works that way. I think it's more of a muscle memory or kind of a reflex or instinct. You're fighting this hard boss and you don't have anything else you can do but other than the controller functions. So you feel if you put a little more emotion into the controller is going to put emotion into the game and your virtual character that actually doesn't exist. I know, we're better than this, but it happens. Cracking into the top 5 today, Hating what you love. I don't care what your favorite game is. I am 99% sure you have said out loud that you hated it at some point in your life. Case in point, Call of Duty. You love it and you hate it. There's just something about video games that makes us go from love to hate in an instant, in a split second. And I'm not sure what other hobbies are really like this, if there are even any out there. We just get so emotionally invested in a game that we underperform. We are so quick to rage quit and say we hate it, just to find ourselves going back to it in a couple hours and all of a sudden magically loving it all over again. Maybe it's a competitive shooter or a fighting game or just a difficult single player game like Dark Souls, but every single gamer has found themselves hating their favorite game at least once just to go back and play it shortly after. At number 4, not choosing anything. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You have some downtime and you want to play a game to pass the time. So you head over to your collection. You start to look through them and you find yourself looking and looking and looking for something to play and eventually give up and just play nothing. I don't know what it is about gamers, but we all do this from time to time. It's the same as if you were looking through Netflix for something to watch and you took so much time and then you didn't watch anything. Not having anything to play when you have countless games to choose from is a feeling that most every gamer has experienced at least once. At number 3, and this is my guilty one, okay? I'm so guilty of this. Constant reloads. Most all shooter players are guilty of this. There's just something so annoying about missing any bullets in your clip or your magazine. It doesn't matter if you're only missing one bullet from that LMG mag that holds 100 shots or more. You have to reload to get that perfectly crisp magazine. How many times have you died in Call of Duty because you were reloading when it wasn't necessary? Or how many times have you jammed your gun in Gears of War because you felt the need to fill your magazine? It's funny because in the real world, this would be a waste of a ton of ammo, but in video games, it allows us to throw out clip after magazine, and we never waste any bullets. But I promise you, most of you have done this if you play FPS games. You don't want to admit it, but you have done it. Okay, we talked about the lean. Now let's talk about the stand at number 2. You can think of this as a second evolution of the lean. Some gamers have developed their own signature stand. It may seem strange to those who prefer to lean, but many players find themselves focusing much more on the game while they're standing up. While you may not be someone who thinks standing is necessary to focus, if you are someone who stands when focusing on a game, you are not alone. The only time I ever stand when I'm into a game is when I have to go to the bathroom, when I have to pee. And then I'll stand up and I'll hold it as long as I can while I play, and eventually I will succumb to the pressure and I will pause the game or whatever and go. But that's the only time I really stand. I do the gamer lean forward thing though. All right, we've reached the number 1 thing today, and it is, have you ever fought a losing battle? This is super common with gamers. You look at your tools and your skill level, and then you look at your possible enemy, and you think to yourself, I can take them, only to get absolutely demolished due to the massive gap between you and your enemy. This can happen anywhere. Perhaps you're playing COD and you're challenged someone way better than you to a 1v1. Or you're in Dark Souls and there's a super high level, high stat enemy down the road and you decide to go fight them even though you are vastly outmatched. There is just something about us as gamers that we constantly decide to put ourselves in losing situations and then wonder what went wrong when we get our butts handed to us. Perhaps it's because this is something you can't do in real life. And if you were just walking down the street and some dude way bigger than you with a machine gun told you not to mess with him, you couldn't go up and kick him in the nuts and then walk away unscathed. You would get obliterated, right? So I think it's something to do with the fact that video games are a place where you can safely take that risk and you can throw yourself into a losing battle without any real world consequence. But it's still pretty funny to me that so many of us do this. We see an enemy that we know we can't beat, but we go try to fight them anyways and then wonder what the heck happened when we end up losing. And there you have it, my friends. Those are 10 strange gaming habits that most everybody has at least one of. I hope you guys enjoyed. There's a playlist below with all the other gaming top 10s. We put up a brand new one every single night at 8 o'clock. Let me know if you're part of that notification squad. Make sure you're subscribed with the notifications on. And there is a link below if you guys want to submit ideas for future video game top 10s. Who knows? It could end up actually being a video on the channel. Thank you for all the support as always. I'll be back tomorrow night with a brand new video, and I'll see you guys later.